G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, I've just published an article titled NACC's second biggest corruption finding that no one is reporting. And the old media aren't reporting it because the old media aren't reporting much about the NACC at all anyhow, because the old media are up to the neck in the cover-up of how corrupt the NACC is. And the new media aren't reporting about the second biggest corruption finding by the NACC because it actually deals with three new media journalists. I exposed the three journalists back in September 2024, and then in November 2024, the NACC exposed two of those same journalists. I published the article on the 2nd of March 2025, and it starts off, the National Anti-Corruption Commission's biggest corruption finding so far was that the NACC's own Commissioner, Paul Brereton, had engaged in officer misconduct by failing to properly recuse himself from the 6 robo-debt referrals matter. The second biggest corruption finding would be that journalists Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter were reporting lies about the NACC. This is relevant for at least 3 reasons. 1, if the findings that journalists Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter are reporting lies is the NACC's second biggest corruption finding, which I argue in this article it is, then it shows how incompetent and how little the NACC has achieved. Number 2, new media need to replace the corrupt old media, but there's little value doing that if the new media are just as corrupt as the old media. And to make sure new media is better than the old media, it is important to report the failings of the new media as much as we do the old media. Number 3, this article is also a follow-up to my article published in September 2024 titled Independent Journalists, Anthony Clean, Michelle Fahey and Elizabeth Minter running a scam with their dodgy reporting on the NACC robo-debt scandal. The article goes on to say, Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter, along with Anthony Clean and his website The Klaxon, were exposed by this website in September 2024 for stealing content and lying to their readers by withholding evidence to push a narrative that they are hero journalists, breaking a big story and then trying to cash in on it. At some stage after I published the article about Michelle Fahey, Liz Minter and Anthony Clean in September 2024, they seem to have disbanded their criminal enterprise and Anthony Clean stopped working with them. Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter started publishing a big scoop, as they called it, on the 9th of November 2024 on the NACC corruption as per the below screenshot. And I'll put the screenshot up now, and it's from Michelle Fahey's website, Undue Influence. And as you can see, it says the 2 journalists are Michelle Fahey and Elizabeth Minter, and it's published on the 9th of November, and it says part 1 of 3. And it says the National Anti-Corruption Commission either missed or ignored obvious red flags for corruption in its initial handling of the $1.2 billion Thales munitions deal that made headlines in June. The NACC's decision to send the case back to the department that signed the deal in the first place for a preliminary investigation showed incompetence and poor judgment, according to a 35-year anti-corruption expert. End of quote. My article goes on to say, it was a 3-part series of reports with Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter working together as a named journalist on the first 2 reports on the 9th and 13th of November 2024. For the third report of their 3-part series, published on the 8th of December 2024, Michelle Fahey was only a journalist, and it's worth noting that Liz Minter's Twitter account is now deleted. Given the second report by Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter, published on the 13th of November, which is the same day the NACC exposed her for publishing lies, as per below, I have to wonder if that had an impact on their working relationship and possibly caused a split. On the 13th of November 2024, the NACC set up its own misinformation page, which starts off, the Commission provides corrections to misinformation in the public domain to ensure that the media and the public have access to accurate information in relation to NACC functions and operations. The first report of misinformation was November 2024, Defence and Thales. Source, alternative media. Misinformation, the NACC sent Thales case back to Defence. Correction, it is a matter of public record that the NACC received a referral in relation to the Thales contract from the Department of Defence. The referral remains under consideration in accordance with the Commission's usual process. The Commission did not refer the matter back to Defence. A referral to the NACC does not preclude Defence from continuing its own investigation of the matter, as per Section 39 of the NACC Act. My article goes on to say, the NACC's misinformation page does have 4 other reports of misinformation, but they were published the same day as the Thales report above. It is a bit rich for the NACC, which pushes misinformation by concealing government corruption and in effect saying nothing to see here, having their own page to expose others' misinformation about them. In my article, there's a picture of Michelle Fahey, Anthony Clan and Elizabeth Minter embedded in it. And my article goes on to say, questions I sent to Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter. On the 14th of November, I posted the below questions to Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter on Twitter. And it says, Dear Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter, can you explain why both of you published misinformation as per the NACC statement and screenshot of your article about the NACC Thales Defence Contract investigation? Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter never responded to the above questions and to the best of my knowledge never denied publishing lies as claimed by the NACC above. Everyone makes mistakes, but given Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter have a history of lying, stealing and deceiving, I think there's a good chance that at least one of them, if not both, deliberately made up lies for the NACC Thales articles. Subheading, all three work for other publications. Michelle Fahey, Liz Minter and Anthony Clan have all published their articles on numerous new media websites, and when they are exposed for lying and deceiving, they damage the credibility of all media that have published their articles. And when Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter are called out by the NACC for lying in their articles, that not only damages their credibility, but also damages the credibility of all new media who have been reporting on corruption at the NACC. The NACC's new misinformation page on their website allows the NACC to put doubt in the mind of readers about the credibility of reports the NACC is failing their duty or is corrupt. And the biggest story on the NACC's misinformation page is the NACC Thales story by Michelle Fahey and Liz Minter, who have also reported extensively with and on Anthony Clan's website, The Klaxon. I've written about the dodgy reporting of Michelle Fahey, Liz Minter and Anthony Clan a couple of times, and I've got linked to 3 different articles. And Clan still continues to knowingly publish lies on his website about the NACC, which actually helps the NACC by blurring the truth. The bottom line, this type of corrupt reporting by journalists needs to be reported by all new media to make sure new media does not become as corrupt as old media. If the above NACC findings about Michelle Fahey's and Liz Minter's lies in the Thales articles is not the NACC's second biggest corruption finding, what is? And if it is the second biggest corruption finding, it shows how little the NACC has been doing, given there are some huge low-hanging corruption fruits from the previous Scott Morrison government that the NACC could have easily investigated and had people jailed for. It's like anything, if you ignore a problem, well, it just becomes worse. I published an article back in September about Michelle Fahey, Liz Minter and Anthony Clan lying and deceiving their readers, stealing content from me, etc. And I get some comments that say, oh, no, look, Shane, you've got to focus on the bigger fight like Murdoch and rah. But people with that mindset, well, that led to November with the NACC calling them out, or calling out Liz Minter and Michelle Fahey at least. And they'd publish a lot of articles on Anthony Clan's, the Klaxon website. So it made him look like the fool he is anyhow. So when we do come across this corruption, we have to call it out. Because if we don't, well, it's just going to get worse and worse, and new media will end up being no better than the old media. And there's plenty of people in new media, like I've written before, could not care less. They're happy to lie and deceive. They're about using the Murdoch game plan to lie and deceive, build up a following. They don't care. And those sort of people need to be weeded out. Anyhow, make sure you do your bit to help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. In Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media, I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. And I need about 200 more monthly supporters to become financially viable. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget, all helps you in a big way. And the link for the PayPal account and Patreon account, which you can donate on, will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. Or you can go to my website for the donations page, which has other donation options. And please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.